Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros MLB. This is Leading Off Live. It is me, Joey P. Joe P. Zapia. With me, of course, is the Welsh. And it's all of you, the Peanuts and the Cracker Jacks, here on twitch.tv/fantasypros, where you can watch us live Monday through Friday. Monday through Friday, what a time to watch baseball at noon Eastern. And of course, if you can't get to the Twitch, you can always watch us on demand on the Fantasy Pros MLB YouTube channel. Subscribe today, drop your comments below, and you might just win yourself a Jose Ramirez autographed jersey, thanks to our friends at pristineauction.com. It's glorious. Again, subscribe to the channel, drop the comment, ring the bell till it goes ding. That's all you got to do to win that bad boy. Welsh, another tough loss for your Diamondbacks to my Mets. How are you doing this morning after that a tough L, capital style?
He was safe. He was safe. Alec Thomas was safe. Yeah, I mean, what can you do? I think positive sign. I've had this like little tiny baby bit of concern about that little bad run that Corbin Carroll had this past week, where it was like, oh no, are we getting back into old trends? Lead off homer, kind of right back into it. Just makes you feel all warm inside, but doesn't make you feel good when the Diamondbacks couldn't pull that win back together. Joey, little disappointing.
No. Also disappointing my bets yesterday. Holy crap.
Oh,
terrible. I was 4-0 on Saturday. Monday, I'm feeling strong, right? This is what happens. This is what the baseball betting world does to you. It smacks you back down. That's what it did yesterday. Cole Ragans, well, he had over 6.5 strikeouts. He had 11 yesterday. 3-0 shutout. So good news. Cole Ragans is healthy. Terrific. Enjoy. Bad news is Sandy Alcantara did face the Dodgers again. We were hoping that he would get skipped. He did not. And unfortunately, bad times. 5 runs, 2 homers in 5 innings. Another L for Sandy Alcantara. I was looking in my home league, Welsh. He has 8 points on the year. 8. That's how many points he has because of all of the walks, all of the losses, all of the earned runs that he's given up. 8 stinking points on the 5th of May.
It is really rough with him. If you were watching the game, I was watching the start of it. First at bat, he went aggressive after Ohtani. Looked really good. Got him swinging. And there was this little part of me we put together. We've got the buy-sell article that's out there on Fantasy Pros that should be dropping today. And there's a little part of me that was like, might want to put Sandy on this. I still think, like, they were even talking about the broadcast. They were just like, yeah, they were even talking. Okay. They were like, we all know that Sandy is going to turn it around. We just don't know when. And this was after, then he strikes out. And then it just started to slowly fall apart. I mean, he didn't even end up having the high whiffs. Ben Kasparius, who didn't even start the game. They had an opener and he came in. He ended up having more whiffs than Sandy. Sandy wasn't really efficient again, which is just ultimately it ends up being the big problem with him. And I just don't know how it turns around. He's a changeup monster. This is his 3rd most used pitch again, because he was under 50% on the usage. He was way, way in the zone on the fastball, and it just doesn't feel like there's any great life on the fastball, and it's not setting up his secondaries great. 23% swing whiff percentage and only a 26% CSW. So between getting whiffs and then getting called strikes, it just wasn't there. Guys were making contact and making hard contact on him, leaving stuff high in the zone. It feels like we might need one of those phantom IL stints for Sandy to kind of get right.
His next start is against the White Sox, so that is, I think
it was the Dodgers. To your point, yeah,
it is the Dodgers. Dodgers are pretty good. Last time I checked, Ohtani, is pretty good at baseball.
It's all right.
Jerry wants to know, is Sandy droppable? In a shallow league, absolutely. 10-team league, 100%. You drop them for whatever's out there. In a 12-teamer, I'm still holding, but in a shallow league, you could drop them.
I'm a masochist. I'm holding too.
Before the show, we were talking about the Yankees and their facial hair rules that they changed. And one of the people that they changed it for is Devin Williams. Do you think it's cursed Devin Williams? Because he was charged with 3 more runs in 2/3 of an inning against the Padres yesterday. And just for S's and G's, I was looking at this. Devin Williams has given up 13 earned runs this year. He gave up 10 in 58 innings in 2023 and 13 in 2022 in 60 innings. So far this year, 11 innings, 13 home runs. So what a massive difference a few years has made for Devin Williams. You think there's the facial hair curse? We'll call it the Sideburns Mattingly curse.
But he has it back. Like they literally, he's I mean, I guess to your point, the reason is because they asked him and he's like, I really wouldn't want to come back because, and they just got rid of it or they adjusted it to say like, well, if you have manicured beard, so he's got his manicured beard back, but yeah, maybe he stirred the gods of Yankee old and everything got all bubbled up and they're just
get rid of those sideburns, Mattingly.
Maybe that's the case. But I mean, also everything is inefficient. He's flipped his pitch usage. He's throwing more changeups than four seams because his four seam it's getting smacked around. It's a 389 batting average against on the four seam fastball, 111 last year. Absolutely brutal. And the changeup, which that's his, they're the what do they call it? The fork, or I'm forgetting what the airbender. That's not as efficient. 48% whiff rate last season, 30% this year. That's a dramatic drop. And the K percentage too, huge drop, 51%. So actually striking guys out, only 25%. It's half as efficient. So he's just in the zone a lot. He's changed the usage. He's not as comfortable. And maybe the beard not being there is just, maybe he can't hide some of the whatever these guys are trying to hide, any stickies or whatever. But yeah, it looks really messy. And this is kind of why, not that Luke Weaver was like that much better in this one, but it's why there was more concern for me on Devin Williams than there was Emmanuel Clase when both of these guys were going through going through it. And he's still doing it. He's still showing it.
And Clase still has not been perfect by any stretch either, but at least better, improved. Pete Alonso, 2-4, 2-run homer. Francisco Lindor, a 3-run homer. Mets 5-4 over the D-backs. Carson Kelly hit his 8th home run. He continues to kind of float around waiver wires, I feel like, because, he had that one huge game and then people are like, oh, yeah, I don't want to chase that. But, at a certain point, we're looking around Augustin Ramirez, who got a home run yesterday, but had been really bad last week. Austin Wells has been disappointing. We've had a lot of catcher disappointment so far this year. What do you think about Carson Kelly? You think that's somebody that in single catcher leagues is a must roster at this point?
Yeah, I think like the pantheon of it is 10-team leagues. You could just burn and turn. If you don't have one of the best, most elite, and I'm talking also like from a name value perspective, catchers, you should be pretty comfortable just like moving in and out. Like, oh, Ramirez is kind of bad. You pick up a guy like Kelly, roll it while it's good. 12-team and 15, it gets like a little bit dicier. But listen, like for name value, I don't want Gabby Moreno anymore with the Diamondbacks. Like we're done with that. Like Kelly,
Ruiz. Like I'm thinking,
Keeper Ruiz
has been good.
And I think you can interchange that, especially if Kelly happens to still be out there. That means you don't have a league that's like hyper active in trying to move and burn catchers. Now, do I believe it long term? I kind of don't, but maybe it's also because it's so absurd. I mean, listen to this: 16% barrel rate. That's elite class, not just for catchers. A 320 expected batting average. He's currently hitting 361 with 8 homers, and his expected batting average is over 300. A 54% hard hit rate. All of these things are so good. This is crazy. 8% strikeout rate with a 21% walk rate. So those all are absurd. But guess what? It stands out so much to me that I just don't really buy it for like long term. So when someone asks me like, hey, would you drop like Augustin Ramirez or Augustin, by the way?
It's Austin Wells even.
Yeah. Okay, so that's where I was going to go.
18 ribbies, but he's hitting 209. I know that Carson Kelly's 361 is not going to hold up, but I mean, that's a massive gap right now. We're talking in points leagues too, 120 points to 78 points. Kelly
points
more.
leagues, it's even a little bit different.
Well, but I mean, saying, just looking at it, he's rostered in 70% of leagues, but I feel like he's still just floating out there in a lot of leagues where people are just taking the catcher they have still instead of chasing the productivity of Kelly. And I don't know if that's the right choice right now.
Yeah, I know he 100% is still floating out there. And what I was saying was like, when you ask me Augustin Ramirez or Kelly, fine, drop him for Kelly. But when you start getting into like, would you drop William Contreras? Would you drop Wilson Contreras?
Well, Wells isn't in the leadoff spot.
Wells is in that borderline area. I still think when the season's done, we're going to look back and it is going to be Wells. But I'm fine with that. Again, if Kelly is still out there, you can make that move. So I'm trying to like show the levels of where I think he bounces around. I think a lot of these catchers, when they get hot, they bounce around that 10 area. But I just don't want to drop like probably there's 10 catchers in front that I just don't want to drop. And then there's a big old clump. Kelly looks ridiculous right now. And if this does continue, hell yeah, dude, he's going to be a top 12 catcher. I just don't think it's going to keep rolling.
All right, let's do some questions here. Laker, what level of player should I trade Garrett Crochet for? An elite one. You better be getting back a Fernando Tatis Jr. type player. Like you've got to get, I think, elite productivity back for Crochet. He's a top 5 starter right now in baseball with the strikeout rate that he's got. He's on a good team. Welsh, I wouldn't expect nothing less in return.
I don't think you're not getting Fernando Tatis Jr. That's one of the number one hitters in baseball. So you're not going to get Tatis. I like what you're going at. I agree. You should have that type of feeling. You should get an elite player. You shouldn't be buying
I want
low.
Lindor. I want Tatis.
Yeah, I think Lindor is easier to get than Tatis. But like, here's what I'm not doing. I'm not going to be like, someone's like, well, what if I trade you Brian Wu and Carson Kelly? No. Like, get out of here. I don't want two for trades. I don't want two for trades. Yeah, I don't want Pete Crow Armstrong. I want elite players.
Cody says, if Brian Wu had a 10K per 9, would he be top 10? Dude is amazing. Maybe. I mean, maybe fringy, especially with the way guys are falling apart. The Smitty, Royce Lewis is back. Any thoughts where he ranks the rest of the season? Impossible to rank Royce Lewis, I think. You just kind of stick him in the middle and hope that he plays.
That's I have him ranked. I kind of agree. He's really difficult to like lock down the spot. I think the depth of third base really stinks right now. Guys like, Jake Berger were sent back down. So I do think in a 12-man league, he is like a startable third baseman, but we also know the injuries are there. He might struggle with batting average, but the depth is so stinky that's a relative range. I'm not sure if you're asking for trade purposes or for like, should I pick him up? I think I think I have him at literally like 12 or 13 as far as third baseman go.
All right, next is Cookie Chubbs. Taylor Ward droppable for Pajes. I say yes.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I want the upside, baby. That's what I want. Also, fun history made yesterday. 350th career home run for Freddie Freeman. Shout out to Freddie Freeman. We love Freddie Freeman on the show here. Good people is the Freddie Freeman. Ronald Acuna Jr. is not going to require a follow-up exam in LA after all. So hopefully we're getting news soon of a minor league rehab assignment. They're still targeting end of May for the return. Spencer Strider, also with the Braves news, has been cleared to begin throwing long toss. So get excited, folks. It's going to be a little bit longer than you thought.
They were a little weird, too, about like, yeah, I agree with what you just said. Like, this is like, oh, it's a hamstring. It should be easy. And then it was just like, yeah, he's cleared to like start moving, but not do this with the arm.
Here.
Are they hiding? I feel like they're hiding something about the arm. This is supposed to just be a hamstring thing.
There's tension here between the manager and the players, period. Something's up here. Something's rotten in the state of Atlanta right now, between Acuna and the front office and the management of the team. Strider, I don't know about that, but you're right. It does feel a little weird because it was supposed to be quick. And now it's like, oh no, now he's just going to long toss. Okay, well, what does that mean? Does he have to go on a rehab assignment again? It's very, very weird. Also, the Rangers, since nobody's hitting, decided to fire their offensive coordinator, Donnie Ecker. And now they have hired Brett Boone as their new hitting coach. So unless he's bringing special vitamins with him, I don't know what Brett Boone's going to do.
You want to know a quick little funny story? In January out here, some of these teams run these different camps, and the Padres are running. It's a fantasy camp where if you have an extra, $8,000 or whatever, you can hang out for 4 days, play games. I know, that's all. And you get coached by major leaguers. And Brett Boone actually was coaching for the Padres. For whatever reason. And I was down there one of those days, and it's like Wally Joyner was there, Jake Peavy. I was there to literally see Peavy. I know it's a cool camp, but Brett Boone is like walking around and we're talking to him for a second and he just whips out a business card and it was for his podcast. He's like, I got a podcast. And he sent it and he hands it. He's like, I got Tariq Skubal on this week. And I was like, wow. And I'm like, yeah, I do podcasting too. Lightly being like, our podcasts are probably quite a bit bigger, but good for you, Brett. And unfortunately,
I looked YouTube or just audio.
Yeah, it was YouTube, but I think it was only like a couple hundred views. And I'm like, how do you go and get Tariq Skubal and have that? So I guess the podcasting didn't quite work out, and he's getting back into the hitting game. But it was just very funny. The thing he went to immediately was, I've got a podcast, and he was like handing out to everybody he could his podcast.
Everybody's got a podcast now. That's the thing. 470 subscribers. We've got more than that.
We almost have more than that watching live.
Well, we've been at it longer, but everyone thinks this podcast stuff is easy until they start to do it and they realize, oh wait, it's a lot of work and a lot of preparation and it takes a lot of effort to look effortless. I just want to put that out there, everybody. Rookie Lookie time. Craig Counsell told reporters that guess who's coming? Cade Horton, candidate to start Saturday against the New York Mets. So Imanaga on the IL. We talked about him yesterday on Prospecting with the Welsh. So once again, Welsh seeing the future. So Cade Horton, expectations now. How aggressive should people be on the fab budget?
I saw 50,000 outcomes, and this was the only one that was going to end up working.
Thanks, Dr.
Kate
Strange.
Horton on Saturday. I think he'd be relatively aggressive. I worry that they're really going to be weird and they're not going to like let him stay up, or they're going to be like, hey, bye-bye. We're going to keep going with Colin Ray. But like, I want to pick him up. I want to stream him. His fastball is better. I think strikeouts are going to be up. He's been insanely efficient in the minor leagues. This is not Bubba Chandler, but this is also not like AJ blah blah. You know what I'm saying? Like this should be in the middle of that. So, drop like $5 to $8 or something like that if you haven't spent a lot, or just make sure that you pick him up. By the way, I love the people acknowledging some of the humble brag drops I have. By the way, Michael, I did not attend fantasy camp. I can't drop $8,000 on that. I was just there walking around. I have a lifetime pass to walk around facilities. I was not there.
Brett Boone's still doing the pod. 5 days ago, he had a pod drop. So
well, he just got hired, so he's gonna.
Well, maybe he does it from the road.
Maybe this was an investment in the podcast in the future. He's like, I'll be the hitting coach, and I'll just interview players while I'm there.
Players, why do you suck so bad, Marcus Semien?
Yeah. Jake Berger be like, how does it feel to be awful and send down the minors?
What's it like having that last option cashed in? Let's get this. Is a good question. Horton or Hoagland?
Ooh, I would go with Horton. That sounds like a Dr. Seuss. Yeah, I was going to say that. Horton has a Hoagland. That's a different Dr. Seuss one. That's too funny. I would say the talent is on Horton's side. Hoagland was awesome in the last start. I kind of feel like maybe Horton has a little bit of a better opportunity to stay in the rotation. So Horton here's the who and not the Hoagland.
A curveball, a fastball, a slider, a sweeper.
Nothing is greater than a win. It's a sweeter. Yeah.
Good times. All right, let's get to some more rookie lookies. Hai-Song Kim, first 2 big league hits for him, and a stolen base Monday against the Marlins. So he's getting some work while Tommy Edman is hurt. And Augustin, I believe. Augustin Ramirez, 3-run homer in 2 of his at-bats. He had been ice cold, so it was good to get him back a little bit. Also, speaking of guys getting hot, I want to talk about all the people that are resubbing up. We appreciate all of you. We know it's annoying, got to do this stuff, but the fact that you're all here today, early May, you're resubbing, that means you like us. You really like us.
A lot of you too, by the way. A lot of you did that, getting that number. We're trying to get into that 100 range and stay there. It just kind of goes up and down as the days go by. Jay Rivy resubscribed or subscribed with Prime. Boy Cody did. And shout out to our boy Leafer giving out gifted subs. That's something you can do. And you get acknowledged in the chat. You get your little box up there. Leafer is the one. So you can not only resub, get your own subs, but you can gift them out and be a G like Leafer is.
Tommy Lasorda, did you see this in the chat? Which former Major League Baseball player did Brett Boone think Welsh was? So it could be John Lackey, could be Rico Bronya, could be the other Chris Welsh. Did
you know there's a new one out there? Vlad said, Vlad said
Sedler?
He tweeted
me. I assume not Guerrero. Although with the circles you've been running in lately, maybe it was Vlad Guerrero. I don't know.
Do people know it's a bit, by the way? Like, I don't have any players' numbers. I have like 2 players' numbers. I just don't know if they do.
You know what? I hope they don't know it's a bit. I hope they.
You know what? Yeah, kayfabe. Let's not break
kayfabe. I'm dropping $8,000 to play baseball with Brett Boone.
Not doing any of that stuff. But Vlad
margaritas with Wally Joyner after
tweets me. That would actually be pretty cool. Vlad tweets me and he goes, and this one I just, maybe when I'm a little bit skinny or something, but he's like, Welsh, he's like, has anyone ever told you look like Edward Julian? And he tweeted the picture of it and it was just out of the clouds. And I was like, no, maybe when I'm like, it doesn't look good because I don't have my facial hair right now. It's on my timeline. You can see. I'm
looking right now. I don't.
But you're going to say no because he's the best looking of any player that's out there. All you guys pick are mongrels and mongoloids to me, and it's just like this guy looks like a human, and just like it doesn't quite look like Welsh.
No. It's look. I think I get where he's coming from, but once again, I think that's just that one's a little off. I mean, this is the one, and this is what I'm going to stick with. Is the best one. It's Rico Bronya. I mean, you give a little bit of facial hair there. I mean, Welsh, that looks a lot. And the fact that he's wearing the Diamondbacks hat, the fact that I found that one.
I don't like it.
He's probably got a podcast too, I'm pretty sure.
But the only one I've ever been, literally a couple came up to me. I think I've told this story, but a couple came up to me at a White Sox spring training game and legit thought I was John Lackey. No, they thought I would, like, it wasn't even a bit where people like, because that's the thing. It wasn't like a little bit of bit. It was full up, came up and asked if I was John Lackey.
I didn't know where that story was going when this couple came up to you and they were wearing, they had the upside down pineapple shirts and they were like, "Hey, it's Arizona. It's
5 o'clock
training."
somewhere, Mr. Lackey.
You should have just said yes and just taken pictures and autograph stuff.
I was legit. I had a couple friends there. I was legit not happy about it too. But I was nice to them about it. But I was like, no,
Welsh
I've
looks
heard that
like
before.
Earl Weaver. No, he does not. But that's
I don't
fine.
even know who that is.
But yes, he does look like John Lackey. There's definitely the John Lackey comparisons.
Don't we have a show to get to?
We do, but we have a question here. Stony Sports, who paid to get his question in here. I have an NA spot filled with a Lawler. Should I drop Lawler to add Horton? If you need pitching, I would say yes, because there's no ETA for Lawler. And it's mind-numbing, but right now there's just no reason to bring him up unless an injury happens. Horton's going to be up Saturday. I say yes.
That's a tough one. Yeah, I think if you need the pitching, you could make that. I kind of don't want to do it. So
Horton or Bubba, who's the better stash?
Bubba.
Bubba's
going to be up by next week.
Zero hesitation from Welsh on that one. All right, let's get to the 3 up and 3 down. Griffin Canning struck out 6 while allowing 1 run in 5 innings and a victory over the Diamondbacks. I just like to say victory over the Diamondbacks.
Done that 3 times.
AJ Smith-Shawver took a no-hitter into the 8th. Also ruined one of my bets yesterday. 8 scoreless innings, so I took a shot against him, and that did not work out. And Christian Yelich hit a 2-run homer, stole a base. Good day for the Yelich man. The down, Brady Singer, who I bet on instead, he got his butt kicked by the Braves, 4 runs in 6 innings. Andres Munoz blew a save, so unlike him, he's been very solid. And Landen Roupp was charged with 4 runs, 2 earned, 5 innings on Monday against the Cubs. Welsh, any thoughts on the ups or the downs here that stand out to you?
I don't love the Munoz one. He's been one of the best closers the entire year. But, it's interesting. All the downs, they're not like a group of guys that were like, oh, yeah, here we go. It's like, no, Brady Singer's actually been pretty consistent throughout the year. Munoz has been one of the, if not the best closer in the league outside of Mason Miller. And Roupp is interesting just because they also brought up Kyle Harrison, and they're putting Kyle Harrison in the bullpen. They might have some flexibility if they don't, because like Roupp was in the bullpen for a little bit.
I've been saying
we could see some spots starting.
Yeah. Watch it closely. Yeah, I know you poo-pooed on Monday. I said, and you're like, he's just in the pen. I said,
they announced he's going to be in the pen. So like, I'm not trying to go actively add him.
I'm trying to actively add him and have him replace somebody in that rotation. Roupp being the first one, because he's not getting it done. And if, right now you're not getting it done, you show up, you train hard, but lately something just feels, I don't know, off. Fatigue lingers, recovery takes long, and your performance just isn't what it used to be. These might be signs of low testosterone, a condition affecting about 30% of adult men in America. Did you know that, Welsh?
I'm now knowing.
Well, now you know. You've been educated. Kaisertrex is an FDA-approved testosterone replacement therapy designed for men like you. It's not an injection. It's not a gel. No. It's a twice-daily pill that fits seamlessly into your active lifestyle, right in your pocket. Boom, you take it. Boom, you're Kaisertrexed. And it helps restore your testosterone to optimal levels. Don't let low T hold you back. Visit Kaisertrex.com to learn more and find a provider near you who can help you get started today. That's KYZATREX.com. But Welsh, it's by prescription only. Kaisertrex is a controlled substance that can be a target of abuse. Don't abuse the Kaisertrex. Okay?
Hey, Joe, can I ask
for you?
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Are there any potential side effects?
Okay. It's not used for pregnant women or men with prostate or breast cancer. Safety and efficacy in those younger than 18 is not known. Tell your doctor about any medical conditions or medications you're taking. Serious side effects could include increased blood pressure, worsening prostate symptoms, increased risk of prostate cancer, blood clots in the legs or lungs, decreased sperm count, liver problems, enlarged or painful breasts, and breathing problems while you sleep. But the common side effects, Welsh, just common one. That's serious.
There's more?
Well, there's one that are just like less scary, just the common ones.
Right.
Swelling of the feet or ankles or body, increased red blood cell count, increased PSA or prostate-specific antigen levels. PSA is a test used to detect prostate cancer. Report these symptoms to your doctor. Call your doctor to learn more about Kaisertrex. For questions or more information, visit Kaisertrex.com or call 1-833-949-5040 for Kaisertrex. Can we call that number next week? I think we should, and just kind of talk it out.
You almost turned into do you remember the QVC guy, the famous guy who would do the car, he'd sell everything. He'd be like cards and swords.
The Billy Mays guy?
No, it wasn't Billy Mays, but it was the guy that was like him. He had the beard. He'd be like, "You're crazy. I got $350 worth of cards for $19.99."
That's
what I'm talking about?
That's the trading card guy. Yeah.
I've
got a Mark McGwire rookie card.
Yeah.
It's $480 right now. If you buy the coins that come with it,
you buy
get the
this,
Mark McGwire.
girls will love you. You'll be popular at school.
Sammy Sosa autograph bat. You walk into high school with this bad boy, and you know what are going to drop, okay? That's what I'm talking about. Get this right now.
What's that guy's name?
I don't know that guy's name. Chat, help us out. Who's the guy? Who's the guy? Someone will know. Those guys were amazing. I wonder what they're doing right now. Let's get to the next segment of today's show. Injuries. Yordan Alvarez on the 10-day IL. This is a great time to buy him. We got a video dropping. We're going to record after this for trades. I'm in on trading for Alvarez. I'll talk about why in that video. The Diamondbacks manager, Torey Lovullo, said that Corbin Burnes is on a track to make his next start. So fingers crossed. We'll see if that works out. Dave Roberts said Teoscar is going to undergo the MRI, but they just said, you know what? Let's just put you on the IL. Obviously, the hamstring is an issue. So another blow to the Dodgers. Welsh.
They got minor leaguers, though. I've been talking about. They just brought up Kim. I wonder if he plays in the outfield. I don't know if they would do it, but maybe this could be an Alex Freeland time if they need to bring up a live body.
Where would Freeland play, and who gets bumped to the outfield? And would Mookie go to the outfield?
Well, no. So Kim has been playing in the outfield. And I think yesterday, he played in the infield, if I'm remembering this correctly. I think Kim can go into the outfield for some coverage, and then Freeland could come in and play. Then I don't know if they'll do that. They might go, a different route. I can't even think of the live bodies they got, but I've been talking about Kyle Freeland for a little while, and I think maybe this could open up that opportunity. Maybe.
Yeah, what was the name of that guy who was on? And that would be like 2:00 in the morning. I remember you would see that, like you get home from the bar, you turn on the TV, and I was in college, and you'd see this guy. And that was like the peak of steroids in baseball. Barry Bonds, Sammy Sosa. Yeah. Right now, autographed cards. I've got them all.
We got 7 boxes of 1993 Upper Deck. There's an MSRP of $399. I'm going to give it to you for $748. Call right now.
Women
will love you.
Yeah, it's the deal of a lifetime.
Don West? Is that it?
No. Oh my God. Was it Don West?
I'm going to look right now.
Because Don West also called wrestling too. God, I never put that together.
It was Don West. I'm looking. Yeah, and he was wrestling. It's actually says wrestling under his
at the end of the, I want to say TNA, beginning of TNA.
Is he still alive?
I don't know, but let's get him on the show. He should do a promo for leading off. I've got Welsh and I've got Joe Pisapia. Oh, he's not alive. Way to go. Way to ruin the day.
Well, all right. Well,
anyway, back to the injuries. Jesse Winker goes on the IL. He's going to miss 6 to 8 weeks. So guess who came back? Brett Beatty. We said it yesterday. Maybe this is the one more showcase for Brett Beatty. I don't know, but I don't love it. Zach Geloff was pulled from his minor league rehab because he's dealing with a hand issue, and now he's got a rib issue. George Kirby, 1 run over 3 innings on Sunday. Freddie Peralta might get an extra day or two, so keep that in mind here if you're looking at Freddie Peralta's start of the weekend because he's dealing with that groin issue that cropped up on Sunday. The Blue Jays put Max Scherzer on the 60-day IL. I know it's just has anybody stolen more money in the last 3 years than Max Scherzer from a Major League Baseball team?
Yeah, his name's Anthony Rendon, biggest criminal in baseball.
Not Anthony Rendon.
By stealing money, not
any pitcher who's stolen more money. Maybe Jacob deGrom.
Yeah, DeGrom. To your point, he's up there. He's up there from the money perspective. But there's a guy or two. We're forgetting like just some awful contract for a pitcher out there.
I'm sure Don West was a good guy. See, Tyler's in. Tyler's a big wrestling guy too. I never put that together. That was the same guy.
Don West though that did he looked exactly like him.
I'm pretty sure it must have been. I mean,
Don West, QVC.
Yeah. Jackson Merrill's going to be activated today, and Royce Lewis too. There you go. Beautiful time to be alive. It's also a great time to bounce back after a rough Monday. It's time for the best bets
of the day. Not so rough
with
for
Joey
me.
P and the Welsh. All right, so I'm going San Diego Padres on the money line right now, -106. And also Michael King over 6.5 strikeouts. Will Warren on the mound today. I like Michael King to stick it to the Yankees. Did you know, Welsh, that the Yankees have the 4th most strikeouts of any team in Major League Baseball? They strike out a ton.
Wow.
They do not put bat to ball. They have a lot of issues there. And if you like both these things, you put them together, you get plus 219 in a parlay. So check that bad boy out. And I've been betting this a ton. It's the Chandler Simpson stolen base prop, plus 168. All he's got to do is get on and get a steal somehow, figure it out. I think Chandler is up for it. So give me Chandler Simpson plus 168 and Brent Rooker in a good matchup today for him at home, plus 150 for Brent Rooker to drive in a run. I like the ribbies for Brent Rooker. Welsh, what do you like today?
I like that. I'm on the opposite end of one of Betting Pro's system plays. They love Tony Gonsolin under strikeouts. I'm going to play the over going up against the Marlins. It's 4.5 over at -120. Again, they like the under. I'm going to take the over. 6 most strikeouts per game, still averaging in the league. Miami is. Gonsolin was a huge underplay in the last start. He ended up striking out 9. I think we're going to be very efficient. Gonsolin is going to get those 5 strikeouts, might get them in the early 4th inning. So over 4.5 strikeouts for Tony Gonsolin. I'm going to take an under strikeout prop. I'm going to go to Chad Patrick with the Brewers. Under 4.5 strikeouts today. He's only hit that once, I believe, so far this season. And the Brewers are going up against the Astros, which are a low strikeout team, even though Alvarez is out. So I'm going to take the under 4.5 strikeouts for Chad Patrick at -130. And then back to the Dodgers. I should have probably just done this with Tony Gonsolin. Give me Mookie Betts +130 on an RBI. I cashed the Pete Alonso RBI yesterday. We're going to go back to it because we're picking on the Marlins. We're picking on Cal Quantrill, who's got an 8 ERA right now. And Mookie Betts is kind of prime placed in there. So we're going to go with RBI +130. Those are my best bets of the day.
All right, everybody. And don't forget, when you're making your bets, go to fantasypros.com/leading off. New customers can place their first bet, get $5 bet in there, and you can get $250 in bonus bets if you win at FanDuel. And don't forget, the Betting Pros free trial is still going on. Get your free 7-day Betting Pros premium tools today with the promo code leading off when you download the app. That means access to the MLB prop bet cheat sheet, the Betting Pros systems, the same game parlay builder, Sharp AI, all of that at Betting Pros right now. Promo code leading off, 7 free days. All right, let's talk about the home run board. Let's see where we're at. Sammy Sosa jersey is on the line. Welsh is up to 13. Monty's up to 16. Razor's at 15. George is at 15 as well. Cookie Chubbs, fan of the show, at 14. So good stuff there. I don't see where's Wonky? Wonky's usually
right
up
below
here
me
too.
at 9.
Wonky's
got 12. I mean, Wonky should probably, because she's a show character, should probably be 8. Yeah, she does deserve a highlight and probably should be 8 at the top of the 12s.
I don't see,
but it's really nice to see me highlighted at 13 with another homer yesterday. Pete Alonso calling that. I'm coming for it, Joe. Someone in the chat earlier was like, they were just like, I cannot buy a home run right now. I'm so bad at it. I feel you. Like, hat tip to Wonky. Wonky is one of the just most hardcore, consistent home run people. I was awful last year.
Yeah,
horrible last year. I was very streaky, couldn't get it going, but Wonky really has done it this year. So shout out to Wonky, and every single year. But you'll get there. Don't get frustrated.
I'm usually on the board by now, but I still got some work to do. Brent Rooker is going to do that work for me tonight. Brent Rooker to hit a home run is +360. He's going against Emerson Hancock, who has a 6 ERA. He's got 2 at-bats against him. One of them is a home run. So let's go, Brent Rooker. You're in that tiny ballpark. Let's get it done. Also, Welsh, your home run call today is?
We are going with the Kerry Carpenter. Kerry Carpenter going up against Chase Dolander, who I do love, but has a little bit of a home run problem, and it's in Colorado. Kerry Carpenter loves to eat up righties. He will do so. Saw some Kerry Carpenter love in the chat earlier. +350 if you want to jump on FanDuel. You guys can use our codes as well on deposits. I believe it's deposit 2 is at 5 and make a bet of 5 and get 2. I don't know if we have the graphic up here for everybody, but you can go
get a Mark McGwire rookie card. Well, you know what? We missed the opportunity for the home run board too. But yes, bet 5, win 250 if your first bet hits. FantasyPros.com/leading off. And if you win the home run derby, you get the Sammy Sosa pristine auction. It's so good. It's the greatest thing you'll ever see. It's so fantastic. Get it now. You'll be adored by everyone.
Very versatile person, by the way, Don West. Going from wrestling to being able to sell on QVC. I mean, I guess they're kind of the same thing ish.
You're just selling. Michael wants to know, someone dropped Devin Williams in my league. Is he worth a stash? I would say yes. Well,
I could not stash him. I mean, especially if people are considering stashing guys like Cade Smith as a backup. Like, they're going to give Devin Williams more opportunities. We hope. I am speculating on him, even though I'm kind of down on it. Right? There's no chance I couldn't.
All right, here's one from Luke. Cade Horton, Eduardo Rodriguez, or Grant Holmes. Who do you want rest of season?
Oh, man. I mean, they're all kind of the same. Like, Eduardo's so weird and ridiculous, and he's going to win you a week or blow up a week. Maybe it's him. Cade Horton is just not guaranteed anything right now, but I don't know if those two are that would keep me off of that. I'll go with Horton here. I'll say that Horton keeps a rotation spot after
I'll
this.
I'll go
start.
with Eduardo because I just feel better about him keeping that rotation spot. And I know what Eduardo is, for better or worse. I have an idea of what he is at this stage in his career.
I guess.
But some good baseball games on the schedule tonight. Just kind of breezing through here on the slate. We're going back here. We got Gallen and Peterson going. Mets D-backs again. Hopefully we get some runs from the Athletics. I'd be looking for that team over potentially too against Hancock, who hasn't been great. Paul Skeens on the mound tonight. Welsh, what's got your eyeballs tonight here in Major League Baseball?
I'm actually very interested to see where Skeens gets at as well, because Cardinals don't strike out a bunch. I didn't touch his props, but he's touching up a little bit. I'm going to be watching Skeens. I also think the Abbott Chris Sale matchup, Braves and Reds, is going to be pretty fun. And you had mentioned also, Drew Rasmussen and Zach Wheeler, but Michael King going up against his old team of the Yankees. Yeah. Those all have me kind of excited. So definitely a good slate.
Eovaldi, Giolito too. Lots of good stuff. So hopefully tomorrow we'll have a lot of fun things to talk about. In the meantime, subscribe to the YouTube channel, drop your comments below, and of course, ring the bell till it goes ding so you never miss a piece of content at Fantasy Pros MLB. And keep an eye out. We just had the video drop for prospecting with the Welsh. We've also got the trade video we're going to record right after this. So keep an eye out. We got a lot of information coming at you to help you win all of your fantasy leagues. That'll do it for us, but the story of the game goes on. For the Welsh, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids.
We've just slashed the prices. Yeah, we both did it.
We were racing to do that.
We're having that today. We had the Dr. Seuss and this. We're on it today.
Quality show.